Bonjour classe. Bonjour Monsieur Nobec.
Bonjour, Monsieur Nobec.
Mais oui, je m'appelle Monsieur Nobec. Et vous? Comment vous appelez-vous? Répondez. Je m'appelle...
Je m'appelle Robert.
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 Okay, so that is what we are working on today. We are going to do a little bit of an activity on intonation. So intonation is the way that the voice goes up and down in a sentence. We don't really think about that in our native language because it's our native language, and so we don't have to think about the rules because we just automatically know them because our parents have been using them since we were babies. Well, when we study a language that's new, you are going to have to study those little intricacies. And you're now at a point where you can start to use the intonation. One great thing about the intonation is it's a really good way to get your personality out there. I know a lot of you probably have felt like you've struggled a lot when it comes to not being able to communicate and get your point across. It's not going to fix everything, but it does let you express a little bit of your personality. I remember for me that was really difficult. I was living in a French-speaking country. I had no one to talk to in English, and I felt like no one knew who I was, even though I spent time with people all the time, because they didn't get to know my personality because I was just sitting around going, le chien, la chat, and Jésus-Christ est mon sauveur. So, if you are worried about that, worry no more, we're getting there, okay? So, we're going to be dealing with declarative sentences. These are sentences that make a declaration. They just give us a little more information, and they are not questions, okay? So,
Nathalie est française.
okay, so just like in the Monsieur Nobec, you hear that at the end, it goes down, right? So if it's just a short sentence, you're going to have your tonation fall at the end.
Hector joue au football.
And so when you're listening to people speak in real life, whether it's in any language, if you pay attention to this, you'll see that people use inflection a lot, okay? So, in a longer sentence, the intonation rises in the first half and then drops in the second half.
À 3h30, j'ai sciences politiques.
So, it goes up and then goes down. And it kind of goes down when it's showing like, oh, this is the end of the sentence. That's at least how I remember it. So this one is about how Martine looks. It is a sentence that contains a list. And so this is what happens.
Martine est jeune, blonde et jolie.
So it goes up, and down. Now, as you can hear in all of these, there is also a rhythm that is happening. And so you might be like, well, I don't hear that. I just hear her say, est jolie, very fast. Don't worry about the rhythm. We're listening to the instead, okay? Because the rhythm comes as you become more and more familiar with the language. It's not really something to worry about right now. So if you have a longer sentence, like this one where there's clauses and the intonation will rise and then fall. So that's kind of the hint for all of these. The first part's rise and rise until the very end it falls. So when it falls, that means that the sentence is almost over. And if you think about it, we use similar rules in English. And if you've ever had someone say, like on Saturday at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to the store. I think I even went down there, but it's just so weird to go up, okay? So we have similar rules like that in English. Now questions, we've all asked questions without saying est-ce que, because est-ce que means is it that I can, right? Est-ce que je peux aller aux toilettes? So this is just more of, not necessarily slang, but it is a little more informal, just like it would be in English. So if a question has an answer that is just yes or no, and there's no other way to answer it, then your inflection goes up.
C'est ta mère?
So, is that your mom? It's going to go up like that. Now think about it if you were saying that in English and you said, that's your mom? That definitely has a more negative intonation, right? If you go down, it's negative when it's a yes or no answer. And I'm sure you haven't ever thought about that before. But when you go up, then that is a way of just asking the question, yes or no. So another yes or no question.
Est-ce qu'elle joue au tennis?
So is it that she's playing tennis? So when it's a yes or no answer, and those are the two options, you go up in your intonation. Also, you can see that there's no way to say kinda or maybe to the question, is that your mom? Right? You have to say yes or no. You can't be like, oh, kinda. So that's what we mean by dealing with yes or no questions. Now, if you're dealing with a question where you want a response from the person that's more than just yes or no, it goes down.
Quelle heure est-il?
So you hear that it goes down because she asked you what time it was. You can't say yes to that question, right? You have to actually say, il est 7 heures du matin. Okay? Then the next one.
Quand est-ce que tu arrives?
You hear that it goes down, and that is because you need to tell them more information than yes or no. She's saying, what time are you coming? And you're going to respond with at 7 o'clock, but if you just say yes, that doesn't really make sense, okay? So now that we've gone over these, I hope you'll replay this video a couple of times and practice saying these things. The next assignment will be an assignment where you're going to create an avatar and make them talk. So follow those instructions in the next assignment and make sure that when you are saying them, you are going up when you need to go up and down when you need to go down, okay? For a 4 on that assignment, you're going to want to have multiple clauses or questions. You want to show that you understand when to go up and when to go down, okay? So if you would like to finish the SNL skit, it's Monsieur Nobec Teaches French, and it is definitely funny, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. So I will talk to you later. Bye!